Hi, traders. It's 11:01 EST. Time for Mike and me to bat the ball around in the markets. How you doing, my trading warrior brother? How's it
I'm
going?
doing okay, Coach. Fast, active. It's active.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scale. I'm trying to scale down and concentrate. I really am. Scale down
Okay.
and concentrate. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know Alexis told me there was a question in the room
Sure.
on why the yen was dropping today,
Hmm.
and this is a pretty good drop compared to what the dollar's doing,
Right.
but it's all about yields. So
Oh,
the
okay.
yen really didn't do much with the spike in yields yesterday, but we're getting a pullback in yields. So here's a 10-year.
Hmm.
What a move from the employment report. And then we actually gapped after Powell's appearance on 60 Minutes that, he even said on national TV, the market believes him when he goes on 60 Minutes more than they believe him after he does
Right.
a press conference
Well, you
because,
know what that is?
what,
That's
what,
uh that's the retail. That's the retail mass.
okay. And maybe he's prepping people
Yeah,
for
not
things.
everybody's sitting in front of the computer trading at
Yeah.
2 o'clock during his press conference. 6 o'clock, they're sitting down to dinner to worry about if Bristol Myers is going to go up anymore.
Yeah, he's trying to explain to the American public why rates have to stay higher for longer. And also, I think he tried to address that when they cut, it's not just to be political and try and get Biden reelected.
No,
That was my takeaway from
right.
him.
I agree.
Anyway, so this was a pretty powerful move. I think it's a corrective, what's happening here, that we could pull back to 405, maybe four, and that's what's behind the end break. But I think before this move in yields is over, that we're going to get through 420 as long as we hold this four level on any pullback, and that yields could actually head up towards 440. And that view is confirmed by, even though we're steady here in the TLT, the longer duration, yeah, it could pop, but I don't think these bottom until we're like here and take out these lows, like about 90. So higher yields, I still think are in the picture, at least short term. Long term, uh, this TLT is probably a buy down here. That this could just be a correction of this huge move we had. But anyway, I think there's a little bit left in yields heading higher. This is just a pause day correction, and that applies for what's happening in the dollar. Um, Someone sent me a DM saying the DSI is 85 in the Dixie, which means it's pretty crowded
Well,
here. Yeah, so
the DXY on SMCI is 92, and that last point was 80 points, 10%. The biggest moves come at the end, and I'm going to point out a lot of them today.
okay, well then that's what I think is still coming in the
That's
dollar.
fair. I agree.
As long as we don't, even though everyone loves it, as long as we don't close back under 103.80, I still think there's at least a shot we didn't get to 105. 104.80 is 61 at point 0.8, and 78% is up here at 105.50. I'm thinking it might stretch here. And then I'm really
Wow.
getting ready to fade the dollar. So, I've been talking 107 in euro for how long now? Since
2 months?
up here, from up
Yeah,
here. So here we
exactly. two
are.
months.
Yeah, so here we are. I'm not ready to buy yet. I've been talking 64 in the Aussie, which is getting a pop because China's strong. If you trade Aussie, you have to keep an eye on what's happening in China.
All right.
So, but it's not there yet. I'm
Huh.
looking for 64. And even though gold is having a great day, it's so stubborn, Mike. It's not giving me the break I've been looking for. It's been holding up well, but I just am not ready to endorse it until we have a capitulation under 2000.
I can't either. Matter of
And
fact, I
here,
was selling some today. The FCX, they gave me a great out. I can't believe it.
yeah. All right. Well, there's silver, still weaker than gold. And what did I want to cover? Oh, I may be looking to buy US dollar MEX. This still could be a right shoulder developing here. And
That's an obscure
so,
one. I don't hear you
yeah,
talk about that one much.
yeah. yeah, I think it's, kind of a political play now on the border being shut
You
down.
mentioned
And
that a couple of times, and I looked at the CX. Yeah, you mentioned that
yeah,
like maybe a week ago. Yeah,
yeah, and I think
2 weeks ago.
that and we have a guest tomorrow. I talked to Bob Elliott today. He's going to be with us tomorrow. And
Bravo.
he's got a very Bob E Unlimited. He has a very interesting view on the immigration question, depending upon closing the border and deporting, where we have a tight labor force. So if we start deporting millions of people, that's going to contribute to inflation because our labor force is not growing here without immigration.
That's second level, third level thinking. I mean, I pay
Yeah,
attention as well. I try not to have an opinion what they trade, but no, that's very, very interesting. If he's going to have a parallel with the market, I'd love to see
yeah. So
that as well.
yeah, so while yields are dropping, um, still think there's a shot we try 5,000. It's just I think those big round numbers, magnets. What I want to ask you, Mike, I'm sorry about premature call on nat gas.
I
I'm
sold it
looking
at the
for,
highs this morning.
okay, maybe we'll get a reversal day. We still never had a reversal day, but we're still diverging. I wouldn't be short down here.
No, I agree.
Uh, so
I listen.
uh,
I think this is what I think. I think natural gas to a degree is a hedge on the market, to a little degree, to a small
okay,
degree.
all
I
right,
see so when the market looked a little bit weak this morning, that gas was up, and then when the market started to stabilize, sans the chips, they took it down, and then some margin calls hit. It's not
yeah.
imploding.
It's interesting, Mike, that it's a negative correlated instrument to the market because so is US dollar MEX. Okay.
Okay.
That usually performs during risk off as well. So, the fact that it's not making new lows with the market is a little bit of a tell for me. So anyway, that's interesting. I really didn't know that it was negatively correlated. So we're
Most of
getting
the time
pulled.
it is. I mean, lap it over to the S&P. A lot of the times the market seems like it's always at highs. That's why
Yeah.
it's always pinned to the lows.
Okay. So we're getting low rotation out of tech.
That's
Nvidia's
correct.
finally having a down day. AMD has had a couple. Amazon, it's in
How
outer
about punch up
space.
Lilly, coach? Lilly is the equivalent to NVIDIA in the respective sector, LLY. Lilly
Okay.
reported today.
Yeah,
So
was it good?
I'm not saying it's over, blah, 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 but it may be a little bit more emblematic of, I'm
The
not sure
froth,
that Lilly, what's that?
frothy AI.
Correct.
Okay. I'm thinking in the next year or so, commentators will be saying comparing AI to .com
It may
in
be
the
too
next.
soon, but you know
Yeah.
what, Coach? There in the .com bubble, there were behemoths that arose, i.e.,
Yeah.
Amazon, and there are
Yeah.
still going to be behemoths here, like SMCI and Microsoft is not
Right.
going away, but
Yeah.
there will be. I mean,
They're just overvalued now a little bit, right?
well, the biggest coach, the biggest moves come at the end. Take a look at this thing, man.
All
But
right. I'm going to give you the charts because I'm interested in where the rotation's going today because it's not going to the leaders.
well, it says it right that you. Oh,
Oh,
whoa,
anyway,
whoa.
so you could show us where the flow's going to and what option sweeps are telling you. I know it's only Tuesday.
Nah, it's all
Uh,
good. Well, no, but next week after earnings start to abate,
yeah,
and as the big techs from last week and still this week nibbling, that's when you really want to see that's when option flow really takes place. A guy that was speculating these are all messy options until after people digest Powell, things start settling down.
yeah,
And next week is really when you want to see option flow. What I put credence in is when I learned to put credence in it. Your
yeah.
KRE is still doing very poorly. Look at NYCB Bank. That's still breaking down. Nobody cares.
No one cares. No
Where's
one
my
cares
screen?
about these regionals. Every time I bring it up, people say I'm wasting my time watching them. So anyway, tell me what you're doing, and
Yeah, we'll go to
as far
the
as
tape.
sectors that are getting the flows today. Oh, and McDonald's. I just wanted to take a victory lap on McDonald's. So next time a food chain raises their prices, I think that's a pretty good sign that they're having trouble making money.
Did you,
And that ended up being reflected in McDonald's earnings, right?
I know you're a Charles Gasparino fan. Do you read the Post, Coach?
No, but I love
Because there was a
Charlie.
big article today about it, the raising price of like $8 Big Mac one day, and that was a huge article in the business section about exactly that very point. I'm not saying that you read that you get your ideas from the business section of the Post, but they just
Yeah.
which
Well,
might. But
maybe
no,
they're,
McDonald's.
you know
There's
what?
the chart. What?
You know what I think? The Post is getting their editorial and their ideas for publishing from TradeGATEHub and the Mike and Dale show. Could that be
We're
possible?
definitely on the same side of the fence. Let's not get political, but I think we believe
Yeah.
in a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, it's vulnerable. It could pop from here, but that looks pretty lousy. Oh, what's that? Eli Lilly?
there's Lilly had earnings
Yeah.
today. Range, price action, and vol.
I know you shorted that on the
I did
opening
not
yesterday.
short it. I
Okay.
didn't short it.
All right. It looks like the kind of fade that you would go for.
True.
Yeah.
Tesla had a couple. Listen, I pointed a Carvana. I pointed in the room 9 times today. It's ready for a squeeze. There's the chart.
Yeah.
Once it was curling up,
Yeah.
it started to rip. It started to go. It went from 44.5 to 48.
Yeah.
And hold on a second. Where's my new window? I have too many windows open here. Let's go to a TradeGATEHub for a second. I called that a lot of trades, a majority of trades, as a matter of fact. Let's go to the beginning here. Buckle up. Here we go. Right before the market. They trying to
Nirvana.
squeeze Nirvana. That was 2
Nirvana.
hours ago. That was
Yeah.
before the open. A bunch of trades, GCT. By the way, here's my sales on UNG this morning, 4:27 a.m.
Okay. Yeah. Before it got,
Sold Boyle probably 246. Probably sold 12,000 Boyle collectively, an average price of 22. Let's say 32. That was the high of the day. It went
yeah,
to 20
nice,
and a
nice.
half.
You know,
So
you're not stubborn like me. You get out of the way and you can live to trade another day. You know,
yeah. No,
for me, I'd be, scaling here right now. So, anyway,
no,
uh,
I still coach. I'm buying it down here. Don't get me wrong. I had 18,000 shares. I sold 12.
okay.
I've said, look, I'll show you right now. I'll show you exactly the transparent. Yeah. Settings. Hold on. Show position info. Boyle. Here, I have 7,000 from 2164. Now I've been buying it today, but I've been selling it, like I said.
What's the time period on this chart?
I don't know, you tell me it's your trade.
Well, I mean, what's the time period on the chart that you're showing?
Oh, today, 9:32 a.m. Okay, this is for,
Five
hold on.
minute bar, 5 minute,
No,
15
let's go to
minute,
2 minute.
2 minute. Okay. So, you know what? Boyle's acting pretty good in the face of what um, natural gas itself is doing
I
because
just
their
wanted to,
natural gas made a new low for this break earlier.
I know that. And there's a couple of stocks are
That's
actually
a good
starting.
sign. That
It is a good
Boyle,
sign.
which is normally if it's
A triple
when
ETF.
nat gas is weaker, Boyle's usually weak. Boyle's usually weaker, so that could be a little bit of a tell.
So should
Uh,
I? So is the so this is an advanced question for Ham would probably H would probably. Is the ETF overpriced or the UNG itself underpriced?
I don't know, but they have different costs for both of them. You know, the higher leveraged ones, the triple ones, they have decay like an option sometimes. You know what I mean? They'll underperform when the market is weak and sometimes overperform. But I mainly see underperformance of these triple X ETFs because they have
The
hedging
cost involved.
strategies and everything. But that's not a bad looking chart, that Boyle.
No, I'm in
And
it.
okay.
Stock Planeteer had a big day. Now it's bouncing. I'm short a little of that. I'm not gonna lie. What else was good? Bad trade. Spotify had big news that opened up. Spotify, another one that had a blow off into earnings and capitulation. Not sure if it's done yet. And I'm not sure if it's profit taking or we'll see if the rotation stays as the VIX still goes lower. Uh Come golds, FCX. I don't know how they got me out of that. What else is moving? This is it. Semis,
Yeah.
China stocks. Let's see if they hold.
Yeah,
Baba,
China
they gave
had a
you.
great day. I mean,
Baba,
they're
they gave you.
trying.
Baba was a pure play.
Yeah.
Baba, I don't care if they make widgets. If the symbol was A, they make
It's a
so.
breakaway. That's a breakaway gap.
Yeah, so
And
Baba's
that's part
leading.
of the reason I'm really looking for one more good break to buy the Aussie is I think you have to go along with the China story. If China is in a major recovery, that's bullish because they're big importers of natural resources from Australia. So that's one of the reasons I like it. Plus, there's a little bit of a gold play in the Aussie.
No, the
Um,
very advanced thought. I knew that. Actually, I didn't know that. SWM was a high flyer robotic stock that was going.
yeah,
A lot of people were in this from 52 to 37, right at the gap. Just big ranges in stock. Lilly, DuPont. All right, DuPont. Is this a 1 day wonder or is it over? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
DuPont. This is the chart on DuPont. They buried it. They had earnings.
yeah.
Maybe the bad news is out, but if you still bought it, I'm glad for people that bought this thing on the, maybe here that thought DuPont. It's not like they took a chance buying some thin stock and got cute. I want DuPont to recover. It's as American as George Washington apple pie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's how I would look at it. It's going to could could attempt a gap fill, but I don't think on the first attempt it will fill the
I,
gap. And 69 looks like an area where, if I was long, I'd be cutting my position, might even be looking for shorts.
no, I agree. Especially that 70 whole numbers.
Yeah.
DuPont's a thick stock that leverages a lot towards options. One of those things. That's it, Coach. Do I see
All right.
options? There's a lot of scattered play.
Okay. So
And there's
really, you know, uh, option flow is more valuable outside of earnings season because maybe those Apple 178 puts were just that you talked about option flows sweeps and last week were just a hedge against the earnings in Apple and Apple went right to the strike and turned.
oil on the rail.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah. Doesn't look
Starbucks
bad
one
compared.
Starbucks. No, I want you with the strike, but Starbucks, the
Yeah.
beaten down stock. Is this a 1 day wonder? Is it good news? Are they rotating back into some of these dividend plays, if you will?
It's also China related, isn't it?
It is.
Starbucks.
Oh, Coach, brilliant. I didn't even think of that.
Okay,
Like I
so
should have.
I know they expanded hugely into, or as former President Trump would
Didn't
say,
think of that.
bigly into China. Bigly.
All right, so Tesla 1 day, first day up, PSLL on yesterday's video. I was pounding the table on this long, probably from 844. It had a bounce yesterday from 888. Then yesterday they opened it in a hole, never broke low on
Yeah.
TSL, which is basically the 1.5 times Tesla. For those that they're a little bit more skittish. It's active. Bottom line, it's active. It's got range. This is the Tesla short 1.5 times from 934, to 834 to 934. This thing, and hold on,
Yeah.
it trades 8 million. It's 8 million shares by 11 o'clock. There's no get in it. Get in something.
It's
Get
still
in something.
constructive looking to me. You have a big flagpole from that 850 to about $9, and now you're just consolidating that big move for what should be another leg.
I agree.
So I don't think Tesla's bottoming yet.
No, Coach. I'm an act. I'm here to take money out of the market every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in things that I know. I'm in things now I wouldn't necessarily want to be away from now. Uh, but
What's uranium doing?
it's got CCJ has earnings tonight, I believe. I'll
Oh,
confirm
okay.
that. Alexis maybe confirm that. There it is. No
Oh,
calls, nothing. Everything's done. Died out.
yeah. Double top, maybe. I don't know. All right. Well, anything you want to wrap with here, Mike?
Things. Be
You're
done.
looking forward to next week, aren't you? Once we get
I
all
I
these
would
earnings.
rather I would right now I think I'm playing more defense because things are I'm not quite sure of the rotation, which is why the VIX is so low. Obviously, it moves like SMC. You know what I mean? Coin had a nice move today, 119 and pulled back. I'm not sure of these things. I'm not sure. I'm waiting for ranges to be reset. Not to sound corny, I'm waiting for pivots I'm aggressive. You know that, coach. So
I think Bitcoin's going, even though it's up today, the highs that we made at 49, I'm still looking for 32 in so this looks like 90 even if it bounces. So anyway, that my view on Bitcoin. I've been wrong on Bitcoin, you know, quite a quite a Bitcoin. So
quite a
but I
bit.
do think Bitcoin, if you pull up the Bitcoin chart, if you have it, I think it's going to pull back. You just okay, coin looks like it. Yeah, maybe it rallies to 35 first, but that's a heavy chart to me, and I think they want to flush everyone out there first before there's a like
I mean,
90. Write down 90 on that.
no, go noted. Do I trust China? Do I trust the Chinese stocks? Now
Yeah,
PD went from first to worst. Now it has a proverbial dead cat bounce in the gap. I was trying to buy yesterday for a trade. I don't think it's
yeah.
going back to 180. It
You
may,
know what? That held up great though compared to what was happening to China stocks.
but now it's
That's
now it's
almost a
but,
star.
but now they're taking up the one that held up the best was NetEase. That's the one. And that last night that's the one I had thought about taking.
Yeah. Remember I said a few weeks ago the most contrarian trade would be to buy China and short Japan,
Right.
which is the opposite of what has been going on. I don't know what the Nikkei's doing, but Boeing's trying to recover. Yeah.
You think that's enough? I mean, that's probably. I know you. You would probably say that's leveraged towards the 200 day,
Yeah. I think we could recover to 230.
or even
If
or a
if
slight bit
if the
higher.
S if the S&Ps go to 5,000, that'll recover to 230. So you know what I would say if S&Ps go, there's some targets just above fib targets 5,000, 50, 31, 38, whatever is not making new highs with the S&Ps, I'd be raising cash. So and ready to buy a dip. I know some guys are saying when we peak, we could pull back to 4,600 from wherever we are. That's like a 5 to 7% correction from wherever the short-term peak comes in.
Coach, everybody wants it. The Bulls want it, and the Bears want it.
Yeah, so then they may get it.
Well, that's fine because they don't two positives become a negative.
Yeah, so we'll see. And the dollar, I mean, we're getting closer. This is going to the next 30 days, and the metals and the dollar are key in my view. Going into March. So we'll see. Keep some powder dry to fade the dollar by getting long Aussie.
Here's
But yeah,
a couple of things, Coach. I heard that the Aussie's a big trade. Matter of fact, I'm following that one. I'm also following having a lot of sweeps here. Right, last time K-Web bullish. They're going into some China ETFs now. They're
okay,
chasing, which I
there
don't
you
like.
go.
Here, guys,
Yeah,
another one that pops up, literally. So
yeah,
what are they going
China.
into? You would say
Yeah,
all nothing with any. All the biggest calls are in
Feb.
February, early March.
There's some
As
in
you can
June.
see right here on my screen, Apple highs, Amazon, Netflix, Nvidia, Intel, Microsoft, AMD, all red. So even within the behemoths, they're getting funky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just saw some wise guy action bearish and spy. You just had up there. Sweep detected wherever it was before.
I'll get you. Breadth a lot stronger today with many of the underbelling squeeze names involved.
Yeah,
Carvana, like Planeteer, uh, KRE. It was probably right here, Coach. I don't know where it was.
I don't
Sorry.
either. But
Let's
I
see.
thought I saw a spy, wise guy action.
Well, TLT highs.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Q's bearish. They're rotating right now. Listen,
Yeah.
it's lunch. UNG red, USO green. But Boyle may be coming back. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still say it's a bottom developing. They try and wear everyone out. When you finally say forget it, that's when it goes. So sometimes you need to have intestinal fortitude in these markets. Not sometimes, all the time. So
You know, it's relative, coach. There's a neighbor of mine, he flies a stealth bomber. The guy actually
wow.
goes, breaks a sound barrier on a regular basis. He thinks I'm a lunatic by the swing. You know what I mean? With the responsibility this guy has.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
thinks
Those
I'm the
things.
nut. This
He's
guy's
a.
got to wake up and kiss his.
It's like a spaceship.
Well,
That
whatever,
jet.
but it's just
Yeah.
the amount of responsibility is mind
Yeah.
blowing. But it's all relative. It's to me, it's
Yeah.
innate.
Yeah. Tell him it'd be fun for him to trade while he's on a mission. See if he could do that. While
That'd be a
he's
hell of a.
flying.
That'd be a hell of an. He'd get fired. He'd hell be
Yeah,
trading
I know.
the trade view market mobile
Right.
app.
Yeah. He could, yeah.
Shorting MCSI in mock speed. That's pretty pimp. That's pimp.
Yeah. Apple buyback machine in full swing this week.
There's a
That's what's
buyback.
behind
That
it.
answers
Okay.
Astro Gumbo's
Okay.
shorts have to be careful. So Apple buyback in full effect. Here we go. There's the main screen back,
Got it.
and we'll leave it there. You know.
All right, buddy. Nice talking to you, Mike.
You too, coach. Listen, have a plan, trade well in the room all day. We'll post earnings still. Starbucks breaking high as well. Listen, a
China.
lot of things going on. For those that are not familiar, it's too fast. Get a trade view demo. For those that aren't, watch Coach's video and I again and regroup and have a plan and be ready for the afternoon trade.
And I'm long China. This sweater was made in China.
I got the Bill Cosby sweater. Look at this freaking thing. It's like 8
You don't want to
pounds.
brag about that. But
What? No,
anyway, I got
actually, I was thinking this thing's freaking heavier than my thought. Look at this thing. All right.
Anyway,
Cheers, everyone.
I'm
Thanks for
long
tuning in.
China sweaters. All right, take it easy, Mike.